rolling. Tonight on Burns Night, will a certain Oriental gentleman be releasing his dragon? Will any of the Ginger Jameses finally pull? Or will any of the fourth years finally give a good turnout to a LUVS event? All this and more tonight on Burns Night. On January the 28th, 2011, Lea House hosted the 10th annual LUVS Burns Night, a haggis-filled, kilt-wielding, slave-auctioning Scottish end-of-exams party with a side of neats, tatties and DJ Dave. A dram of whiskey was also on offer for those who prefer a stiff one. It's at this point that I would like to publicly apologise on behalf of all of the vets to DJ Dave after the destruction of one of his TV screens. It is thought he didn't play Eurodance for Harry Swales, who consequently punched through the television. In other news, independent sources have flooded in with stories of the night where money was wasted, soap was eaten, nakedness was present, and teeth were, quite literally, pulled out. We have plenty in store for you with tonight's programme. Numerous stories surround a popular and well-known second year, Cass Spedding, who has been claimed to be a pseudo-vegetarian after consuming the entire table of haggis, kindly blessed by Dave Stewart. VTV reporter Josh Langlois caught up with her earlier this week. This is Josh Langlois reporting for VTV with Cass Spedding, the acclaimed pseudo-vegetarian. Cass, how do you respond to claims that you are in fact a pseudo-vegetarian, a fake?
I completely deny them. I am a vegetarian. I do not like eating meat. I don't believe in killing animals for our pleasure, and I do not like the taste of meat.
So, how do you respond, Cass, to the claims that on Burns Night you're actually beating people away so that you could finish the haggis?
I think that's probably an exaggeration. I mean, for a start, it could have been vegetarian haggis. I like vegetarian haggis. I don't think I would do that. I don't like meat.
Josh Langlois reporting for VTV. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Josh.
Rumours have it that a UFT, or unidentified flying tooth, was spotted soaring across Lea House. Some have attributed this to extraterrestrial life, whereas others have inferred it was the result of a young first-year hockey player who, trying to get the attention of her friend, pulled out her false tooth and literally threw it at their head. We are still receiving updates on the whereabouts of the lost tooth. Harriet Bell, second year, was seen to be munching on a bar of Imperial Adler whilst washing it down with a bottle of almond-flavoured palm olive. This has spurred incredible reaction from chefs Heston Blumenthal and Jamie Oliver, who simply cannot believe they didn't think of such a delicacy earlier. Miss Bell, who woke up with the taste of soap in her mouth, is set to make millions on her new product, Eddie Soap. Here's what she had to say to VTV. What happened on Burns Night for you? What do you remember?
Well, I won a prize in the raffle and I went to collect it. And I remember it was these soaps, and they just looked delicious. So I bit into one, and I was just amazed by the taste. It really wasn't what I was expecting at all.
That's fantastic. So, how do you feel that Heston Blumenthal and Jamie Oliver are buying the rights to your Eddie Soap, your new edible soap product?
I was a pioneer in the product, so I'm pretty disappointed that they didn't come to me first, but I'm pleased that they like the idea.
Sounds lovely. In other news, love was in the air as Harry Swales, Ollie Ainsley and Andrew Travers were caught intimately spooning halfway up the stairs at Lea House by innocent bystander Sammy Ives. It's said that no sexual encounter was seen between the three men, but our video analysts are still looking into it. Sammy declined an interview on the grounds that she was simply too disturbed by the evening's events, but was compliant with issuing the following statement.
From what I can remember, Ollie appears to have been missing for a while, supposedly having fallen in a bush. When I found him soaking wet in said bush, I took him back to Lea House where Kermit kindly donated his lumberjack jacket to keep Ollie warm, but despite this was still shivering. I took Ollie upstairs, where I stumbled upon Andrew Travers and Harry Swales passed out on the top floor. Once Harry had regained an element of consciousness, he agreed to cuddle Ollie back to health on the condition Mr. Ainsley would refrain from touching Mr. Swales' stomach. I then left them in a full-on three-way spoon.
Miss Ives, unaware of Harry Swales' previous criminal record, also stated that
he did seem quite aggressive, and at one point even lashed out at me. I was only trying to help.
We know, Sammy. We know. If only you'd known about the Rach Howes and Antonia Chope incident. And here is an artist's impression of what we believe happened. Here's what Mr. Swales had to say on the matter.
We're here at the home of Harry Swales, just asking a few questions about Burns Night. Mr. Swales, mind answering a few questions? I think you do.
Okay.
Can you tell me what recollection you have of Burns Night?
Not much.
Not much, doesn't remember much. And how do you feel about claims that you particularly assaulted Sammy Ives? Mr. Swales? Mr. Swales? How do you... Mr. Swales? It's Josh Langlois reporting for VTV.
Following on from her topless exploits in the LUVS charity naked calendar, self-confessed part-time nudist Anna Patch was seen to be naked in the male bathroom showers at around 11:30 p.m. that evening. I can confirm that she was not with anyone, male or female, in the shower, but the lads going to the toilet were wondering why she didn't choose to shower before she arrived at Lea.
And now it's time for a commercial break.
Oh, we're rolling. Our next story surrounds a first-year student, Joe Lunt, who, through his commitment to the cause, played a part in ensuring the safety of inebriated partygoers. With the assistance of a first aid certificate, young Joe was able to take the pulse of Ollie Ainsley, confirming it was 65 BPM, normal, and that, apart from being unconscious in the corner in the marquee and a potential trip hazard for dancers, Ollie certainly was not going to die. To paraphrase Joe's quote on the night, "I don't want Ollie to die, because then the party would end. I don't want that to happen. I'm having such a good time." Josh Longley caught up with Joe for the latest.
Thanks, Josh. I'm here with Joe Lunt, who was the principal protagonist in these series of events. Joe, how are you doing today?
I'm fine. How are you today?
Yeah, good, thank you. First of all, first question I'd like to ask you is, are you first aid trained?
I am indeed. I did it as part of my employment at a veterinary hospital.
Oh, brilliant, brilliant. That's good to hear, really good to hear. And Joe, can you just give me a rundown of the events of how you saw it on the night with Ollie Ainsley?
Ollie Ainsley was passed out completely on the floor. I had to check his pulse and make sure that he didn't swallow his tongue, mainly because he was very, very wasted.
That's such a shame. That's so kind of you. And did you report the incident to the LUVS president for his dossiers to keep on record?
I tried to find as many committee members as possible and told them about this incident.
Brilliant. And what was their reaction?
They didn't give a shit.
Really? That's a shame to hear. And Joe, finally, and thanks for your time, what advice can you give to other people who are seeking to help drunk people at parties?
Don't make friends with these wankers.
Thank you. This is Josh Longley reporting for VTV. Back to you in the studio.
I'll have jalapeno peppers, pepperoni, extra cheese, Domino's herbs, and stuffed crust. The traditional slave auction brought about many a story. Sources claim that the reason the auction is left until 11 p.m. is to exploit drunk people of their money. But we are still awaiting sufficient evidence to support this. Previously mentioned Harriet Bell and Cass Spedding were both involved with the frivolities. Drunk and geographically challenged, Miss Bell accepted a £30 bid for a meal for two in Neston when she lives in Liverpool. Clearly she really wanted to spend some romantic time over a curry.
Yeah, in hindsight, it wasn't my brightest idea yet. I was bidding to try and get the price up and then no one outbid me, so yeah.
And rumour has it that you don't actually know who the meal is with. What do you have to say about that?
No, I'm yet to figure out quite exactly how it's going to work or how I'm going to get to the actual restaurant. So, any takers?
Brilliant. So we've got a single lady ready for a curry for two. Miss Spedding woke up the next morning to find herself £40 out of pocket and tickets to the dog races.
£40? No, I don't think that happened either. I don't remember that happening.
And do you have strong opinions on the exploitation of dogs for our entertainment?
No, I think it's great fun.
Okay. Barney Dean, LUVS Liverpool Vice President, also got stuck in with the bidding, but was controversially outbid by April Thompson for the meal with the rugby lad. I'll leave it to the viewers at home to work out why. Barney did manage to win several other bids, and in some instances was even seen bidding against himself. What a charitable lad. Here's what he had to say. Thanks, Josh. I'm here with Barney Dean, the Liverpool LUVS Vice President. Hi, Barney.
Evening.
And just got a few questions for you today. First of all, do you remember bidding in the auction?
I don't remember bidding itself. I remember Adam being annoyed at me for attempting to bid.
How did you feel when you were outbid for the rugby boy meal that you were winning for such long time?
I was pretty gutted, but it was 50 quid that I couldn't afford to spend on top of the 57 that I'd already spent at the auction.
Brilliant. And which rugby boy were you planning on taking out?
Definitely Tristan.
Tristan, there we have it. Back to you in the studio. And now for tonight's top story. Immense media coverage has surrounded James Wright, half of the LUVS social secretaries, who, in a drunken stupor, walked 2 kilometres to Ness Heath Farm to sleep with the sheep. Josh Langlois caught up with James earlier today for a full interview. I'm here in the home of James Wright, who's kindly let me come in today, and just here to ask him a few questions about what he remembers from BurnsNight. James, my first question for you today is, what can you recollect from the night?
Well, look, I don't really remember much. I remember going in the back entrance of the house and going in the gym for about an hour. After that, it's a bit of I think I had a quad bod, and then that was about it.
That was about it. And how do you respond? What do you think about claims that people are saying that you walked over to the sheep shed?
Well, I don't really quite understand where people are getting this information from. I had a lovely night with sheep, and it was actually quite happy. I got the bus home. I never went anywhere near the sheep.
Okay, so you have no recollection whatsoever of the claims that you walked all the way to Ness Heath Farm and you woke up in the sheep shed the next morning. Yeah, I did. Sorry. I woke up. There was a sheep pretty much on my face, and it was pretty confusing. I think I was still drunk, and I just stumbled about for a bit. And what are sheep like in bed?
Well, they're actually quite comfy. There's a lot of bounce you can get out of them, especially when they struggle. They give them a bit of a fight. It's very good.
Brilliant. Great to hear. So you do not feel that you've learned from past drunken experiences that wandering off really can be dangerous?
I think it's quite a touchy subject there, and I think only time can tell whether or not I've learned my lessons. I think my next spot is to wake up in Manchester.
Brilliant. Sounds like a challenge. Fantastic. Back to you in the studio. So that concludes another BurnsNight roundup. We've had spooning, new forms of vegetarianism that involve eating meat, and encounters with sheep that were, debatably for Tom Downs and Rich Lawn, too close for comfort. I'll see you next time. Oh, and you stay clear to vet school. I'm Josh Langlois.
For more sport news and views, check out vtv.com.